I saw Rebecca coming out with her water jug on her shoulder. She went down to the spring and drew water. So I said to her, "Please give me a drink." She quickly lowered her jug from her shoulder and said, "Yes, I have a drink, and I will water your camels too." So I drank, and then she watered the camels. Then I asked, "Whose daughter are you?" She replied, "I am the daughter of Bethuel, and my grandparents are Nahor and Milcah." So I put the ring on her nose and bracelets on her wrist. Then I bowed low and worshipped the Lord. I praised the Lord, the God of my master Abraham, because he had led me straight to my master's niece, to his son's wife. So tell me, will you or won't you show unfailing love and faithfulness to my master? Please tell me yes or no, and I'll know what to do next." Then Laban and Bethuel replied, "The Lord has obviously brought you here, so there has nothing we can say. Here is Rebecca. Take her and go. Yes, you can. Yes, let her be the wife of your master's son, so the Lord has directed." When Abraham's servants heard their answer, he bowed down to the ground and worshipped the Lord. Then he brought out silver and gold jewelry and clothing and presented them to Rebecca. He also gave expensive jewelry, and he also gave expensive presents to her brother and mother. Then they ate their meals, and the servant and the men with him stayed over there overnight. Early the next morning, Abraham's servant said, "Send me back to my master, but we want Rebekah to stay with us at least 10 days." Her brother and mother said, "Then she can go." But he said, "Don't delay me. The Lord has made my mission successful. Now send me back so I can return to my master." "Well," they said, "we'll call Rebecca and ask her what she thinks." So they called Rebecca. "Are you willing to go with this man?" they asked her. And she replied, "Yes, I will go." So they said goodbye to Rebecca and sent her away with Abraham's servant and his men. The woman who had been Rebecca's childhood nurse went along with her. They gave her this blessing as she parted. "Oh, sister, may you become the mother of many millions. May your descendants be the strong and conquer the city of enemies." Then Rebecca and her servants mounted the camels and followed the man. So Abraham's servant took Rebecca and went on his way. Meanwhile, Isaac, whose home was in the Negev, had returned from Bir Lahai Roi. One evening, as he was walking and meditating in the field, he looked up and saw the camels coming. When Rebecca looked up and saw Isaac, she quickly dismounted from her camel. "Who is that man walking through the field to meet us?" she asked the servant, and he replied, "Is my master." So Rebecca covered her face with her veil. Then the servant told Isaac everything he had done, and then Isaac brought Rebecca into his mother Sarah's tent, and he became his wife. He loved her deeply, and she was a special comfort to him after the death of his mother. Oh, the death of Abraham. Abraham married another wife whose name was Keturah. She gave birth to Zimram, Jokshan, Midian, Ishak, and Dedan. Dedan's descendants were the Asherites, Letushites, Lemonites. Midian's sons were Ephah, Hanok, Abida, and Eldah. These were all descendants of Abraham through Keturah. Abraham gave everything he owned to his son Isaac, but before he died, he gave gifts to the son of his concubines, and sent them off to the land in the east away from Isaac. Abraham lived for 175 years, and he died at a ripe age, having lived as long and satisfying. He breathed his last and joined his ancestors in death. His son Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah near Mamre in the field of Ephron, son of Zahar the Hittite. This was the field Abraham had purchased from the Hittites, where he had buried his wife Sarah. After Abraham's death, God blessed his son Isaac, who settled near Bir Lahai Roi in Negev. Ishmael's descendants. This is the account of the family of Ishmael, the son of Abraham through Hagar, Sarah's Egyptian servant. Here's a list of their name, their clans of Ishmael's descendants. The oldest was Nebaioth, followed by Kedar, Adbeel, Mibsan, Mishma, Duma, Masa, Hadad, Tema, Jetur, Naphish, and Kedma. All these 12 sons of Ishmael became the founders of the 12 tribes named after them, listed according to the place they settled and camped. Ishmael lived for 137 years. Then he breathed his last and joined his ancestors in death. Ishmael's descendants occupied the region of Havilah to Shur, which is east of Egypt in the direction of Ashur. There they lived in open hostility towards all their relatives. The birth of Esau and Jacob. This is the account of the family of Isaac, the son of Abraham. When Isaac was 40 years old, he married Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel and Amorim from Padan Aram, and the sister of Laban Aramean. Isaac pleaded with God on behalf of his children, behalf of his wife, because he was unable to have children. The Lord answers Isaac's prayer, and Rebekah became pregnant with 2 twins. When the 2 children struggled with each other in her womb, so she went to ask the Lord about it. Why is this happening to me? And the Lord said, the sons in your womb will become 2 nations. From the very beginning, the 2 nations will be rivals. One nation will be stronger than the other, and your older son will serve your younger son. And when the time came to give birth, Rebekah discovered that she did indeed have twins. The first one was very red at birth and covered with thick hair, with a fur coat. So they named him Esau. Then the other twin was born with his hand grasping Esau's heel, so they named him Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when the twins were born. Esau sells his birthright. As the boy grew up, Esau became a skillful hunter. He was an outdoorsman, but Jacob had a quiet temperament, preferring to stay at home. Isaac loved Esau because he enjoyed eating the wild game Esau brought home, but Rebekah loved Jacob. One day, when Jacob was cooking some stew, Esau arrived home from the wilderness, exhausted and hungry. Esau said to Jacob, "I'm starving, giving me some of that red stew." This is how Esau got his name, Edom, which means red. "All right," Jacob replied, "but trade me your rights as the firstborn son." "Look, I'm starving," said Esau. "What good is my birthright to me now?" "I'm dying of starvation," said Esau. "What is my birthright to me now?" When Jacob said, "First you must swear that your birthright is mine." So Esau swore an oath, thereby selling all his rights as the firstborn son born to his brother Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau some bread and lentil stew. Esau ate that meal and then got up and left. He showed contempt for his rights as the firstborn.